So there are 3 magic tools in dragon training. And these are the following. The first one is to trust yourself. Okay? The second one is to trust the group. Trust the group. And the last one is to trust the process. So these 3 tools, that they're magic, plus your angel cards, plus your knowledge and our support, I think are going to make this adventure fun, cool, and successful.
The Aboriginal people had a really amazing technology of how to share stories. And their app back then were using what we call today a talking piece. It can be a piece of wood, it can be a piece of stone. It's some object that symbolizes the listening and the speaking and the time. And it worked very simply. The person that having the technology, the talking piece, he's the only one that can speak. And he also the one that receiving the listening and the attention from everyone in the circle. And he also holding the collective time. So he's speaking with intention. He's speaking to the center, to the fire, and he's remembering that everybody listening to him, but also other people want to share.
So what do you think it means, the Kalapgur? The place where people gather around the fire. So what is what we have here? A Kalapgur. The Aborigines are nomads. So each night or each day, they gather around the fire, they cook, they share stories, and then the next day, they move somewhere else. And they create another fire, another Kalapgur, where they sit down, they share stories, they cook, and then the next day, they move to another place, and another place, and another place, and another place, and another place. Okay?
This session we're going to do now, it's a lot about listening. One of the interesting models that I'm familiar with them called the 4 levels of listening. I will go on the first 2. The first 2 levels, the first one we call downloading. And downloading is, you know the situation, you listen to someone just because you want to be polite. And you're just there because you feel, I really want to go from there. Or I just need to listen to him because I have to.
And start to pay attention to your breathing. How the air goes in through your nostrils and how the air gets out. We use a tool we call Pinakari, which is coming from the Aborigines, and it means deep listening. And basically they use this word because it's deep listening not only to our hearts, but to the connection we have with the earth.
The third level, we call it an emphatic listening. It's listening from the fact that I can try to see the perspective of the other person.
in many of the processes, the dragon dreaming processes, we invite participants to work with silence. And this creates a moment of chaos in many people's brains, or in not only in the brains, in the way we act. No? So like inviting to do the processes in silence, it's magic, because there is where you see like how human beings connect on a different level, on a deeper level. And when I'm no longer my brain and what is important that I say, but it's more about what I feel that I need to communicate through other tools. Maybe it's writing, it's drawing, it's just like moving a Post-it around.
The fourth level is a more generative listening. It's not only, but it's listening from the field. It's listening to what wants to happen.
We normally tend to move in this area a lot. And what we were talking in the Pinakari, and I think that's what we want to bring, it's more this listening from the unknown, from completely kind of dissolving the who I am and listening from what it comes through me, instead of who I am, how I see the world, how I can be empathic and understanding with you. There is much more intelligence that is coming through us. This invitation of working with silence is the biggest dragon, is the biggest challenge that we all have. And then at the same time, it has produced the most positive effect, because you start like to engage with your team members, with your colleague from a different level.